This is your local election headquarters.
Welcome back. A federal judge calls on Angola to protect prisoners working outside during extreme heat. Now, the judge ordering the Louisiana State Penitentiary to keep inmates safe when temperatures are 88 degrees or hotter. Back in September, in a federal lawsuit, plaintiffs argued the work is purely meant as punishment and puts workers in dangerous situations. Now, those suing say the farm line doesn't help rehabilitate the prisoners and violates the Americans with Disabilities Act. Louisiana's Department of Public Safety and Corrections strongly disagrees and has filed a notice of appeal with the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. The judge says Angola has 7 days to fix this issue. In an announcement earlier this week, Governor Landry says National Guard troops will remain at the southern border until mid-November. This comes after a request from Texas for engineer soldiers. Back in March, 50 Louisiana National Guard soldiers were first sent to Texas to help aid the state in the U.S.-Mexico border crisis. Soldiers were mobilized after approval from Landry, and a total of $3 million was approved to send soldiers. The approved money covered pay, allowances, transportation, lodging, and meals. The Biden campaign is working to reassure key allies President Biden is fit to run for office. The White House is brushing aside concerns about the president's ability to run for a second term. This comes after his debate performance sparked a frenzy within the party. Last week, nearly 24 Democratic governors met with the president as the administration is on full damage control. But for some, the damage is already done.
Joe is the Democratic nominee, and he is going to beat Donald Trump just like he did in 2020.
We have to have another choice. It just seemed to me we can't afford that risk, and we should be seeking a stronger alternative.
Now, despite those growing concerns, President Biden has continuously said that he is not dropping out of the race. Washington, D.C. is preparing to host a meeting of world leaders. Next week, the NATO summit will bring together international allies as questions continue at home about President Biden's ability to serve another term. Washington correspondent Maddie Burtemple previews the upcoming summit.
NATO was founded after World War II as a way for allies to protect each other. Now, 75 years later, world leaders will be discussing that same mission here in D.C.
The nation's capital is getting ready to welcome world leaders.
Next week is not going to be a regular week in D.C.
Mayor Muriel Bowser says the city has stepped up security for the NATO summit.
To make sure that this week is a safe and smooth experience.
Meanwhile, international allies will be talking security on the world stage.
More support to Ukraine will be our most urgent task.
NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg says the 32 allies across Europe and North America will discuss how to support Ukraine from Russia's invasion.
We must give Ukraine the predictability and accountability it needs to defend itself.
Ukraine is not currently part of NATO, but U.S. Permanent Representative to NATO, Julianne Smith, told News Nation,
"We are trying to move them closer to the alliance."
Smith says the summit will also highlight increases in military investments. 2/3 of allies now spend 2% of their GDP on their own national defense.
It's a huge development over the last 10 years.
The White House says President Biden looks forward to hosting this summit. He'll also be holding a news conference there, as many have raised questions about his fitness to serve another 4 years.